It's not March anymore, and probably by the time I upload this is probably not even April. But welcome to my Kid Cudi March Madness stylized bracket. I absolutely love Kid Cudi, top 3 favorite artists of all time, and I know a lot of people love Kid Cudi as well. So fill this out, screenshot it, let me know who you got winning, or click the link in the description and go screenshot my Twitter post of it. So we're gonna start on the top left side, the Ghost region. 1 and 16, we got Day and Night versus The Mood. By far, Day and Night is one of Kid Cudi's most iconic songs. I have that advancing. Immortal versus Simple As. I enjoy both of these songs, but Immortal has a slight edge. By Design and Down and Out. I have Down and Out. Tequila Shots versus Kid Cudi Ghost. Tequila Shots off Man on the Moon 3. One of his more popular songs on that project. I have Kid Cudi Ghost though, advancing. Iconic already. Balmain Jeans versus Confused, probably the least memorable first round matchup so far. I have Confused. Marijuana versus Rockstar Nights. Rockstar Nights is one of my favorite songs of last year, and one of my favorite songs, if not the favorite song on Man on the Moon 3. Sky Might Fall versus Frequency. I have Sky Might Fall. Reborn versus Red Eye. I have Reborn. The top right, Pursuit of Happiness versus Cudi Get. Pursuit of Happiness. Ghost versus Solo Dolo. I got Ghost. King Wizard versus Dive. King Wizard. Baptizing Fire versus Solo Dolo 3. I got Solo Dolo 3. Too Bad I Have to Destroy You Now versus Brothers. This song right here, there's an unreleased version of this with Kanye West with a sample of Michael Jackson. That is by far one of the greatest Kid Cudi, Kanye West songs that I've heard to never be released. So I have Too Bad I Have to Destroy You Now advancing, but this song could have been so much better than what it was. Show Out versus Trapped in My Mind. I got Show Out. Intergalactic versus Solo Dolo Part 2. I got Solo Dolo Part 2. Fourth Dimension versus Illusions. I got Fourth Dimension. Bottom left now, Erase Me versus Heaven on Earth. I have Erase Me. The 8 and 9 matchup, I have Heart of a Lion advancing. 5 and 12. Surfing. Man on the Moon versus Satellite Flight. I have Man on the Moon. The 6 and 11 matchup, I have Burn Baby Burn losing. Feel the Love versus Scott Muscudi versus The World. Feel the Love. Cudi Zone versus Another Day. I got Another Day. Soundtrack to My Life versus Road is Golden. Soundtrack to My Life is perfection. The bottom right side, Just What I Am versus Does It. And Just What I Am is a more radio mainstream type of song out of the majority of his songs, and it has the most listens. That's why I had it as a 1 seed. But Does It is by far the more enjoyable song for me. 8 versus 9, Alive advancing. The Prayer versus Girls. The Prayer is probably the only reason, besides I believe Man on the Moon, for me keeping that mixtape, A Kid Named Cudi, in these types of bracket video. So obviously The Prayer advances. Cudi Montage versus She Knows This. Cudi Montage. Make Her Say versus Speeding Bullet to Heaven. That Lady Gaga sample, I liked it. Up Up and Away versus Sad People. Up Up and Away. Mojo So Dope versus Flight at First Sight. I got Flight at First Sight. Mr. Rager versus My World. Mr. Rager. Starting with the top left side in their second round, Day and Night versus Immortal. I absolutely love Immortal. Probably could have went a little farther, but Day and Night is one of the most iconic Kid Cudi songs out there. By Design versus Kid Cudi Ghost. I got By Design. Confused versus Rockstar Nights. This is a pretty easy one. Rockstar Nights. Sky Might Fall versus Reborn. Sky Might Fall is crazy. Top right, once again, Pursuit of Happiness versus Ghost. Easy. King Wizard versus Solo Dolo. Relatively easy one as well. Too Bad I Have to Destroy You Now versus Show Out. Show Out. Solo Dolo Part 2 versus Fourth Dimension. Fourth Dimension. Bottom left, Erase Me versus Heart of a Lion. Erase Me. Surfing versus Man on the Moon. That's easy. Revo Feb versus Feel the Love. I got this one going on. Another Day versus Soundtrack to My Life. It's Another Day. Soundtrack to My Life advances. Does It versus Alive. I have Alive. The Prayer versus Cudi Montage. The Prayer, so iconic. Make Her Say versus Up Up and Away. It's a good matchup right here, but ultimately I have Make Her Say. That Lady Gaga sample, crazy. Flight at First Sight versus Mr. Rager. Mr. Rager. Third round. Here we go. Day and Night versus By Design. Day and Night. Rockstar Nights versus Sky Might Fall. Rockstar Nights probably could have made it further into the final four, maybe. I got Sky Might Fall advancing. Pursuit of Happiness on the top right versus King Wizard. Pursuit of Happiness. Show Out versus Fourth Dimension. As much as I love Show Out, Fourth Dimension. Bottom left, Erase Me versus Man on the Moon. I got Man on the Moon. And then Revel Fev versus Soundtrack to My Life. Soundtrack to My Life. Bottom right, Alive versus The Prayer. The Prayer. And Maker Save versus Mr. Rager. Mr. Rager. We're in the Elite 8. Day and Night versus Sky Might Fall. Day and Night is probably Kid Cudi's most popular song, but Sky Might Fall is just the better song in my opinion. Pursuit of Happiness versus Fourth Dimension. As much as I love Pursuit of Happiness, and I've probably been using this word all throughout the video, every single Man on the Moon song is so iconic. It's hard to see Pursuit of Happiness losing to a newer song off of Kid Cudi Ghost in Fourth Dimension, but that's ultimately what I have. I really wish there was more songs like Fourth Dimension, and hopefully in the near future, whenever we get a Kid Cudi Ghost 2, there will be. Bottom left, Man on the Moon versus Soundtrack to My Life. This easily could have been a final round matchup with these last two songs standing, but they're placed in the same region, and ultimately I have Soundtrack to My Life going to the final four. The Prayer versus Mr. Rager. Another great matchup. As much as I love The Prayer, Mr. Rager, one of my favorite songs off of Man on the Moon too. It hurts me to put Mr. Rager over The Prayer because I love it. I love it. The final four, Sky Might Fall versus Soundtrack to My Life. Soundtrack to My Life is a masterpiece. It literally is the soundtrack to my life. One of my all-time favorite songs I've ever listened to. I have to have Soundtrack to My Life advance into the finals, while on the other side, Fourth Dimension versus Mr. Rager. I have Mr. Rager moving on to meet in the finals with Soundtrack to My Life. Great songs, absolutely great songs, but ultimately there is one winner, and the winner I have between Soundtrack to My Life and Mr. Rager is Soundtrack to My Life. Literally, it is the soundtrack to my life, and probably so many other people as well that love Kid Cudi. I don't think this will ever not be one of my favorite Kid Cudi songs of all time. Just the impact that it's had on my life. Songs that evoke emotion are some of the best ones out. So that's my Kid Cudi Madness bracket. Did you agree with my bracket? Did you disagree? Let me know in the comment section below, along with screenshotting this video at the start. Fill it out, let me know who you got winning, or just let me know in the comments what your winner would be. Thank you for watching. Check out some of these other videos before you go, similar to this one. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you in the next one.